Captain Frank Mason stood tall in the grand chamber of the Galactic Council. The 7 alien representatives sat high above him on their curved platform. Their faces showed little emotion as they looked down at the human. Frank had been here many times before, but today felt different. "The Council requires 5,000 more human soldiers for the Orient sector," said Councillor Zekthar, his blue skin shimmering under the bright lights. "The rebels must be stopped before they spread to other systems." Frank took a deep breath. He had received these orders too many times. Each time, human soldiers died for alien wars that had nothing to do with Earth. "And if Earth refuses?" Frank asked, his voice steady. The chamber went silent. No species had ever questioned a council demand before. The aliens looked at each other in surprise. "Refusal is not an option, Captain Mason," said Zekthar. "The Council will place sanctions on Earth. No trade, no technology, no protection." Frank nodded slowly. He had expected this answer. For 50 years, humans had been the Council's warriors. Humans could adapt to any environment. They could fight in ways the other species could not. But they were seen as simple and expendable. "I understand," said Frank. He looked at each council member one by one. "But I must inform you that as of today, Earth is withdrawing from all agreements with the Galactic Council." The chamber erupted in noise. The council members stood up, their voices mixing together in anger and disbelief. "You cannot leave the council," shouted Drexlar, the oldest member. "No species has ever left." "Yet here we are," said Frank calmly. "Humanity thanks you for your past support, but we will now find our own path among the stars. Without our protection, you will not survive," said Zekthar. "The galaxy is dangerous for lone species." Frank smiled. "We are well aware of the dangers. We have been fighting them for you for decades." As Frank turned to leave, Councillor Vela of the Valerians stood up. Unlike the others, her expression was sad rather than angry. "Captain Mason," she said softly, "please reconsider. There must be room for negotiation." Frank paused and looked back. There has been no real negotiation with the Council for 50 years. You ask, we obey. That ends today. As Frank walked out of the chamber, the shouting behind him grew louder. His communication device buzzed. It was Admiral Lisa Wright from Earth Command. "How did they take it?" she asked. "Exactly as we expected," said Frank, walking quickly to his ship. "They cannot imagine a galaxy where humans don't follow their orders." "All preparations are complete here," said Lisa. "The first colony ships are ready to depart as soon as you return." Frank entered his small ship and started the launch sequence. As he rose above the Council planet, he saw other ships moving to block his path. His screen lit up with a message from Zekthar. "Return to the chamber, Captain. This discussion is not finished." Frank sent a simple reply. "It is finished. Humanity has made its decision." He activated the new engine system that Earth had kept secret from the Council. His ship shot forward at a speed the Council believed impossible for human technology. The alien ships could not follow. As the stars blurred around him, Frank felt both fear and hope. Humanity was about to leap into the unknown, away from the protection, but also the control of the Council. "We're on our own now," he said to himself, "and that's exactly how we want it." The journey back to Earth would take 3 days. Frank knew that by the time he arrived, the Council would be sending threats and demands. But it was too late. The plan that humanity had worked on in secret for years was already in motion. The Council was about to learn that humans were far more than the simple soldiers they had always believed them to be. Admiral Lisa Wright walked through the underground command center beneath the city of New Denver. Screens covered the walls, showing maps of Earth and the stars beyond. Men and women in blue uniforms moved quickly around her, preparing for what would come next. "Is everyone here?" Lisa asked her assistant. "Yes, Admiral. They're waiting in the main room." Lisa nodded and pushed open the heavy metal doors. Inside, 20 people sat around a large table. They were the leaders of Earth, military commanders, scientists, and government officials. All faces turned to her as she entered. "Captain Mason has delivered our message to the council," Lisa said. As expected, they did not take it well. "Have they responded yet?" asked General Paul Harris. "They've already blocked our ships from their trade stations," Lisa said. "And they've stopped all technology shipments to Earth. They think this will make us change our minds." The room was quiet. Everyone knew this would happen. For years, the council had used threats to keep humans in line. "Show them," Lisa said to the woman at the computer. Dr. Sam Powell stood up. Her eyes were tired after working for 3 days without sleep, but she smiled as she pressed a button on the table. A large image appeared in the middle of the room, a hologram of a massive ship unlike anything Earth had built before. "This is the New Horizon," Sam said. "The first of our colony ships. It can carry 50,000 people and all the supplies they need to start a new life. We have 10 more just like it, almost ready to launch. But the council will never let these ships leave our solar system," said someone at the back of the room. "They won't be able to stop us," Sam replied. She pressed another button. The image changed to show the engine room of the ship. "For 15 years, we've been studying the council's technology. But we haven't just copied it, we've improved it." Sam explained how humans had discovered new ways to travel through space. The council had always given humans their old technology, keeping the best for themselves. But human scientists had found paths that alien engineers had missed. "The New Horizon can move faster than any council ship," Sam said, "and they won't know how we're doing it." On a screen on the wall, a message appeared. It was from Councillor Drelvex, one of the 7 council members. "They're demanding we send troops as ordered," Lisa said after reading it. "They say if we refuse, they will stop protecting Earth from the dangers of space." "Little do they know," said General Harris with a small laugh. "We've been protecting them for years." Lisa turned to everyone in the room. "The first colony ship leaves tomorrow. We've chosen the best location, far from council space, but with good planets for human life. Captain Judy Martins will lead the mission." "What about the council spies among us?" asked someone. "We've kept our real plans secret from them," Lisa said. "They know we're unhappy, but they don't know how prepared we are. They think humans are simple and need their help to survive." Outside the command center, in cities across Earth, people were packing their belongings. They had been chosen carefully: farmers, doctors, teachers, engineers, everything needed to build a new human world beyond the reach of the council. In space, council ships watched Earth from a distance. Their commanders sent reports back to the council. Humans were upset but would soon realize they could not survive alone. Soon, they would beg to return to council protection. What they couldn't see were the new weapons being installed on Earth's defense ships, or the secret factories on Mars building technology the council thought impossible for humans to create. "They've always underestimated us," Lisa said, looking at the reports. "That's why we'll succeed. We're not just leaving their control, we're going to change the galaxy forever." In his private chamber, Councillor Drelvex stared at the message from Earth. Unlike his fellow council members, he was worried. He had spent time with humans. He knew their history, and he knew what happened when humans decided to fight for their freedom. "We have made a terrible mistake," he whispered to himself. The massive colony ship New Horizon floated above Earth, its white hull shining in the sunlight. Inside, 50,000 people moved through wide hallways, finding their rooms and storage areas. Children looked out of large windows, pointing at the blue planet below them for the last time. Captain Judy Martinez stood on the bridge, watching her crew prepare for departure. Screens around her showed every part of the huge ship. Some areas were still being loaded with supplies, seeds, animals, machines for the new colony. "Captain, all systems are ready," said Eric Collins, the ship's navigator. His fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "We can leave whenever you give the order." Judy nodded. She had been chosen to lead this mission because of her experience in deep space, but this journey would take them farther than any human had gone before. "What about the council ships?" she asked. 6 of them are watching us from a distance, Eric said. They're probably waiting for us to ask for help or turn back. Judy smiled. They'll be waiting a long time. Her communication screen lit up. Admiral Wright appeared, her face serious but hopeful. Captain Martinez, is the New Horizon ready? She asked. Yes, Admiral. All crew and colonists are on board. We're ready to make history. You already are, Lisa said. Good luck out there. Remember, once you activate the new drive system, the Council won't be able to follow you. Understood. We'll send a message when we reach the colony site. The connection ended. Judy turned to her crew. Start the departure sequence. Let's show everyone what this ship can do. The New Horizon slowly moved away from Earth. Its regular engines pushed it past the moon, gathering speed. The Council ships followed at a safe distance, recording everything. On the Council homeworld, the 7 leaders watched the human ship on their screens. Where do they think they're going? Asked Zekthar. There are no habitable planets within reach of their technology. They're making a show of leaving, said another counselor. They'll turn back once they realize how dangerous space is without our protection. In the Council's monitoring room, alarms suddenly went off. The technicians looked at their screens in confusion. The human ship, it's accelerating faster than should be possible, one of them reported. They've activated some kind of new drive system. Back on the New Horizon, Judy felt the slight vibration as the hidden engines came to life. The stars outside began to blur. New drive active, Captain, Eric reported. Council ships are falling behind. They're trying to follow but can't match our speed. Judy watched as Earth's sun became just another distant star. They were now traveling faster than any Council ship could go. Send the message to Earth, she ordered. First stage successful. The journey would take 2 weeks to reach their destination, a solar system with planets rich in water and fertile soil. Council scouts had passed it by, thinking it too far from main trade routes to be useful. 4 days into the journey, Eric's sensors detected something approaching. Captain, we have 3 ships on an intercept course, he said. They're not Council vessels. The markings show they're Crawl pirates. The Crawl were known throughout the galaxy as dangerous raiders. They attacked cargo ships and small colonies, stealing whatever they could. They must think we're an easy target, Judy said. A helpless human ship far from Council protection. Should we change course to avoid them? Judy shook her head. No. Admiral Wright said we might encounter situations like this. It's time to show what else this ship can do. She pressed a button on her command chair. All crew to defense stations. Let's show these pirates that humans aren't as helpless as everyone thinks. Panels opened along the New Horizons hull, revealing weapons the Council never knew humans possessed. The ship's engines adjusted, allowing it to move with surprising agility for its size. The pirates approached, expecting an easy victory against humans who had always relied on Council protection. They had no idea they were about to face a new kind of human ship, one built not just to flee, but to fight. The Grand Council chamber was no longer calm and orderly. The 7 leaders shouted over each other as reports came in from across the galaxy. It had been 1 month since the first human ships left, and nothing was going as the Council had planned. 3 more human ships left their system yesterday, reported a blue-skinned aide. That makes 17 ships carrying over 800,000 humans away from Council space. Councillor Zekthar slammed his fist on the table. This is unacceptable. How are they building these ships so quickly? And where are they finding suitable planets? That is not our biggest problem, said Councillor Drelvex. The Tauric Empire has attacked 3 outposts in the Rigel sector. These were areas previously defended by human forces. The Council members fell silent. The Tauric Empire had been kept in check for decades by the threat of human military response. Without humans, the balance of power was shifting quickly. The trade routes in the Oran Arm are reporting a 30% drop in goods, added another counselor. Many industries relied on human workers and human markets. As they argued, A new figure entered the chamber. Vela, the Valerian ambassador, walked to the center of the room. The Valerians had always been closest to humans, sharing more biological similarities than other council species. "Honored Council," she said, "I bring formal notice. The Valerian Collective is establishing direct diplomatic relations with Earth, separate from council oversight." The chamber erupted again. No member species had ever made independent agreements with another species. Everything had always gone through the council. "You cannot do this," shouted Zekthar. "It violates the founding principles of our alliance." Vela stood firm. "The council failed to understand humans. We will not make the same mistake." A Valerian diplomatic ship has already departed for Earth, with Ambassador Kate Johnson leading our delegation. In another part of the galaxy, on a newly established human outpost, Governor Bill Harmon welcomed the first non-human visitors to New Terra. The small green-skinned city had brought exotic fruits and technology to trade. Though considered a minor species by the Council, the city were skilled in hydroponics, growing food in harsh environments. "Your colony is impressive," said the city leader. "You've built more in 3 weeks than most species do in a year." Bill smiled. "Humans adapt quickly. We welcome any peaceful species who wishes to trade or settle here. Unlike the Council, we don't rank species by importance." Reports of this meeting spread quickly through trading networks. Other species that had been treated poorly by the Council began sending representatives to human colonies. Back on the Council homeworld, economic advisors brought more bad news. "The galactic credit has fallen 15% in value," one explained. "Major trading houses are in a panic. Without humans buying and selling goods, markets are unstable." "This is temporary," insisted Zekthar. "The humans cannot survive on their own. They will come crawling back when they face their first crisis." Just then, a new report arrived from the edge of Council space. The Tauric Empire ships had attacked a small mining colony, but instead of finding it defenseless, they had encountered a human defense fleet. The battle was brief and one-sided. The human ships disabled the Tauric vessels without destroying them, then transmitted a warning to the Empire that all former human territories were still under Earth's protection. Councillor Drelvex read the report and looked at his fellow council members. "We've always used humans as our military force because they're effective warriors. Did we really believe they would become helpless without us?" As the council members argued about how to respond, more reports arrived from across the galaxy. Trade routes were changing. Species were making direct agreements with humans. The power structure that had stood for 1,000 years was coming apart faster than anyone had imagined possible. "We must negotiate with them," Drelvex said finally, "before it's too late." Zekthar shook his head. "The Council does not negotiate with lesser species." "Look around you," Drelvex replied. "There is no more Council unless we change." Governor Bill Harmon stood on the hill overlooking New Terra, the largest human colony outside Council space. 4 months had passed since the first ships left Earth. What had begun as a small settlement now looked like a proper city. Thousands of homes spread across the valley, with farms extending beyond them. The planet's 2 suns made the days long and warm, perfect for growing crops. "It's hard to believe how much we've built already," said Carol, Bill's assistant. "Humans work fast when we're building something for ourselves," Bill replied. "Especially when we're not following Council rules." A small ship landed nearby. It wasn't human-made. The door opened, and 3 tall, blue-skinned aliens stepped out. They were Narians, a species known for their trading skills. "Welcome to New Terra," Bill said, walking toward them. "What brings you to our colony?" The lead Narian bowed slightly. "We seek permission to establish a trading post here. The Council has increased taxes again on our goods. We heard humans welcome all peaceful species." "And we do," Bill said with a smile. "You'll find many species already living and working alongside us." This was happening more and more. Species that had been treated poorly by the Council were finding new opportunities with humans. New Terra had become home to 12 different alien species already. In orbit above the planet, human ships came and went. Some carried new colonists. Others brought supplies. A few were exploration vessels, mapping nearby systems for future colonies. On one of these ships, Science Officer Dan Kelly made an important discovery. He had found a way to speed up the growth of plants using alien technology combined with Earth science. "This will change everything," he told his captain. "We can grow food 10 times faster than normal. It means we can make new planets ready for living in months instead of years." News of this discovery spread quickly through human colonies. Soon all of them were using the new method. Planets that the Council had considered useless were quickly becoming green and fertile under human care. Far away on the Council homeworld, spy drones returned with images of the human colonies. Councillor Zekthar watched in disbelief as the pictures showed thriving settlements where there had been nothing but empty planets a few months ago. "This is impossible," he said. "How can they transform planets so quickly? And why are there other species living with them?" Councillor Drelvex studied the images carefully. "They're doing what we never did. They're treating all species as equals. Look here, these are city buildings, and these structures were made by Narians. Primitive species," Zekthar said with disgust. "The Council decided long ago they weren't advanced enough for full membership. Yet here they are, helping humans build new worlds." Drelvex replied. "Perhaps we were wrong about more than just humans." Reports from across the galaxy showed more problems for the Council. Trade routes that had existed for centuries were changing as ships found better deals at human colonies. The galactic credit continued to lose value as more business was done using Earth currency. In a secret meeting, representatives from 5 species, all Council members, discussed their options. "The Council is failing," said one. "Perhaps it is time to consider a new alliance, one that includes humans as equals." Back on New Terra, Bill received exciting news. The 3rd human colony, Nova, had just welcomed its 100,000th settler. Humans now had permanent settlements in 3 star systems, all outside Council control. More surprising was the report that over 20,000 non-humans had also moved to human colonies, seeking freedom from Council rules and taxes. "We didn't just leave the Council," Bill said as he read the reports. "We're creating something entirely new." That night, Bill looked up at the stars from his home on New Terra. Somewhere out there, the Council was still trying to maintain control of the galaxy. But with each passing day, more species were realizing there was another way to live among the stars. The human way. Alarms blared through the mining outpost on Ta CD4. The small human settlement of just 500 people had been established to extract rare minerals from the planet's mountains. Now they faced an unexpected threat. "Council ships approaching," reported the outpost's security officer. 5 vessels, heavily armed. The outpost leader, Jeff Brown, frowned at the screen. "Send the emergency signal to Earth Defense Fleet. Tell them we need immediate assistance." The message traveled faster than any Council communication system could detect. Within minutes, it reached Admiral Peter Garcia aboard the flagship Defender, patrolling near the edge of human space. "Council forces moving against our mining outpost," Peter read aloud to his bridge crew. "This was bound to happen eventually. They're testing us." The Admiral gave orders quickly. 3 human ships changed course, activating their advanced drive systems. The Council had declared the mining outpost illegal, claiming humans had no right to establish colonies without permission. This would be the first direct confrontation between Council forces and the Earth Defense Fleet. On the Council command ship, Captain Vrex watched the small human outpost grow larger on his screen. "No defenses detected," reported his second officer. "They appear to have only one small shuttlecraft." "The Council has given clear orders," Vrex said. "This illegal mining operation must be removed. It seems humans need a reminder of their place in the galaxy." Vrex had fought alongside human troops in previous conflicts. He had respected their bravery, but always saw them as useful tools, not equals. Now he would show them the consequences of defying the Council. "Charge weapons," he ordered. "Target their main facility." Before his crew could comply, alarms sounded across the bridge. "Captain, 3 ships just appeared at the edge of our sensor range," shouted his officer. "They're moving too fast to track properly." Vrex stared at the screen in disbelief. The ships were clearly human in design, but they moved with speed and precision he had never seen before. Within minutes, they had surrounded the Council vessels. "How did they get here so quickly?" Vrex demanded. "That's impossible." Admiral Garcia's voice came through on all Council communication channels. "Council vessels, this is Admiral Peter Garcia of the Earth Defense Fleet. You are threatening a human settlement. Power down your weapons immediately." Vrex stood tall. "This is Captain Vrex of the Galactic Council. We are enforcing Council law. This outpost was established illegally in Council space." "There is no such thing as Council space anymore," Garcia replied calmly. "Not for us. These people are under Earth's protection. You have 30 seconds to stand down." Vrex laughed. "Your 3 ships cannot match 5 Council vessels. Stand aside, Admiral." When the 30 seconds passed, the human ships moved. But instead of attacking, they released dozens of small devices that attached themselves to the Council ships' hulls. Suddenly, all weapons systems on the Council vessels went dead. Their engines sputtered and stopped. Only life support and communications remained active. "What have you done?" Vrex demanded. "Neutralized your threat," Garcia answered. "We could have destroyed your ships, but that's not our way. Your engines will restart in 24 hours, giving you enough time to reconsider your options." Garcia's ship moved alongside Vrex's vessel. The Council captain could now see that the human ships were more advanced than anything he had encountered before. "Take a message back to the Council," Garcia said. "Humans wish to be left alone. This is your only warning." As the human ships formed a protective barrier around the mining outpost, Vrex realized the truth. The Council had always believed humans needed their technology and protection to survive. But humans had been holding back, developing in secret, waiting for the right moment to show their true capabilities. The news of this confrontation spread quickly through the galaxy. Council forces had been defeated without a single shot fired. More species began to question the Council's power and authority. In the Council chamber, the 7 leaders faced their greatest crisis in 1,000 years. The foundations of their control were crumbling, and at the center of it all stood humanity. No longer their obedient soldiers, but a rising power that had outgrown its masters. The diplomatic ship from the Council entered Earth orbit carefully. It was the first official Council vessel allowed near Earth since humans began their exodus. On board, 5 representatives from different Council species prepared for the most important meeting of their careers. "Remember, we are not here to make demands," said Councillor Drelvex to his fellow diplomats. "We are here to listen." After the failed attack on the human mining outpost, the Council had finally accepted that they could not force humans to return. The economic problems caused by humanity's departure had grown worse. 3 more Council member species had begun talks with Earth. The 1,000-year-old alliance was falling apart. On Earth, Chief Negotiator Laura Chen prepared to meet the Council representatives. Once a teacher, Laura had a gift for explaining complex ideas in simple ways. Admiral Wright had chosen her for this critical role. "They expect us to be angry," Laura told her team. "They expect demands and threats. Instead, we will offer them something new." The meeting took place in the old United Nations building in New York. Council representatives sat on one side of the table, humans on the other. The aliens looked uncomfortable in Earth's gravity and air. "We thank you for agreeing to speak with us," began Drelvex. "The Council recognizes that mistakes were made in our treatment of humans." Laura nodded. "Yes, mistakes were made. For 50 years, humans fought and died for Council interests while being treated as lesser beings. But we did not invite you here to discuss the past." She pressed a button, and a hologram appeared above the table. It showed a new type of space station, larger than anything humans or the Council had built before. "This is our proposal," Laura said. "Not a return to the Council, but something new. An interstellar cooperative, where all species meet as equals. No hierarchies, no primitive or advanced labels. Each brings their unique strengths to benefit all." The Council representatives looked at each other in surprise. They had expected humans to demand special treatment or to simply reject any cooperation. "And who would lead this cooperative?" asked one representative. "No one species would lead," Laura replied. "Decisions would require agreement from all. We have already discussed this idea with 15 species, including 3 current council members. All have expressed interest." Drelvex leaned forward. "Which council members?" Laura smiled. "The Valerians, the Narians, and the Ceti. They see the benefits of true cooperation over the Council's approach." This news shocked the delegation. The Valerians were one of the founding species of the Council. If they were considering this new alliance, the situation was worse than they had thought. As news of the meeting spread across Earth, humans watched with interest. Many had expected their leaders to reject any contact with the Council. But Admiral Wright had a different vision. "We didn't leave to isolate ourselves," she explained in a worldwide broadcast. "We left to find a better way for all species to interact. Now we have the chance to build something better than the Council ever was." In human colonies across 3 star systems, the news was met with mixed feelings. Some feared any new agreement with the Council. Others saw the opportunity to create a new type of galactic community. On New Terra, Governor Bill Harmon called a meeting of all species living in the colony. Humans sat alongside Valerians, Narians, Ceti, and others in the town's central garden. "This is what the future could look like everywhere," Bill said, looking at the diverse gathering. "Not council control, but true cooperation." Back on the Council homeworld, the 7 leaders received reports of the meeting on Earth. 3 of them immediately expressed support for the cooperative idea. 2 others seemed interested but cautious. Only Zekthar and 1 other remained firmly opposed. "This is the end of the Council as we have known it," Drelvex said. "Perhaps," replied another, "but it may be the beginning of something better." As the vote was called, the result shocked everyone. At 5-2, the Galactic Council voted to formally dissolve itself after 1,000 years of rule. In its place would be negotiations to form the new interstellar cooperative, with humans and all other species as equal partners. Throughout the galaxy, the news spread. The age of the Council was over. A new era had begun. 5 years had passed since humanity left Council space. The central station of the new interstellar cooperative floated where the Council headquarters once stood. The massive ring-shaped structure was 10 times larger than the old Council building. Ships of all designs and sizes docked at its many ports. Admiral Lisa Wright walked through the main garden at the heart of the station. All around her, beings from 30 different species moved about their business. Some were former Council members. Others had never been allowed into Council space before humans changed everything. Lisa stopped to watch a group of children playing near a fountain. Human kids with their quick movements played alongside blue-skinned Valerian children and the small green Ceti youngsters. None of them seemed to notice their differences. "Quite a change from the old days," said a voice beside her. Lisa turned to see Drelvex, once a Council leader, now one of the cooperative's senior advisors. "The children don't remember the Council time," Lisa said. "For them, this is normal." "For the best," Drelvex replied. "My own children now have human friends. They ask me why we ever thought humans were different from us." They walked together toward the meeting chambers. After 5 years, the cooperative included 42 species. Trade between them had doubled each year. Planets once considered worthless under Council rules were now thriving colonies with mixed populations. Humanity had expanded to 30 star systems, each developing in its own way. Some focused on farming, others on technology or trade. All welcomed any peaceful species who wished to join them. The former Council species had adapted in different ways. Most embraced the new system, finding that cooperation brought more benefits than the old hierarchy ever had. The Tauric Empire had resisted at first, but faced with growing isolation, even they had recently asked to join the cooperative. Only Zekthar and his closest allies refused to participate. They had formed a small alliance of their own, but their influence grew smaller each year as more of their people chose to leave. In the main meeting hall, representatives from all cooperative species gathered for an important announcement. Laura Chen, now serving as Earth's chief representative, took the central platform. "We have detected unusual energy readings beyond the rim of our galaxy," she explained. "Our scientists believe it may be evidence of an unknown civilization approaching our space." The room grew quiet. In all their recorded history, none of the known species had encountered intelligent life from outside their galaxy. "We have already sent explorer ships to investigate," Laura continued. "What matters is that we face this discovery together, as equals, with shared knowledge and resources." Lisa thought about how differently this would have played out under the Council. They would have hidden the information, sent their own ships, and kept any benefits for themselves. The cooperative had changed everything. After the meeting, Lisa visited the new academy where young people from all species trained together. In one classroom, a human teacher explained advanced mathematics to a mixed group of students. In another, a Valerian instructor taught about the history of space exploration. "Admiral Wright," said a young TD student who recognized her. "My grandfather tells stories about when humans first left the Council. He says you saved the galaxy from itself." Lisa smiled. "We just showed everyone a different way to live together. The rest happened because it was a better path for all of us." As she returned to her ship, Lisa received a message from New Terra. Governor Bill Harmon was retiring after 5 years leading the colony. The people had elected a Narration as his replacement, the first non-human to lead a primarily human settlement. Looking out at the stars from her ship's window, Lisa remembered the day they had decided to leave Council space. They had been afraid but determined. No one had expected that their departure would create something better than they had ever imagined. The Council had lost command, but the galaxy had found a new way forward. And at the center of it all was the simple human belief that all beings deserve to be treated with respect. As the new threat or opportunity from beyond the galaxy approached, Lisa knew one thing for certain: whatever came next, they would face it together.